90% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me with a life as be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in they Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters gon' move, whatever click you choose.
Say, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Now, let's hop right up into this video. So, yeah, you see the title, man. Prison culture, actives, and dropouts. And I had another video to do today, but I'm gonna do this video here right now, right? And the reason I'm doing this video is because a comment I read recently in one of the videos that I done, somebody said, and they said a specific name, and I'm not gonna say the name, but they said that dude's opinion doesn't matter. You know, he's a dropout. Now, the dude that I'm talking about, and I was gonna say his name, but I figured what difference does it make, right? He has admitted to being a dropout, and he clearly says that, and so, you know, or at least he has admitted to, because I don't want to be sounding like I'm being disrespectful, he has admitted to no longer functioning with the organization that he once used to function with, right? And so, once again, I'm not being disrespectful toward that man, and I don't have a problem against that man, and I've never said anything disrespectful about him, right? Today, at this stage in my life, this is where I'm with it, right? I don't care about that gang culture, right? To the extent of I'm going to bring it home with me and I'm going to bring it into my videos, you know, because the people who matter most to me, anything relating to the gang culture cannot do anything productive for them. It's not healthy for them. They can't eat no blue rag. They can't eat no Crip sign. It's not going to throwing up a Crip sign for my family or whatever is not going to provide them with clothing, shelter, housing, transportation, anything of that nature, right? So today, I'm on what a lot of people call man time in terms of when I do my videos, man. To me, everybody is deserving of respect until they show that they are not deserving of respect, regardless of what their prison ideology may have been, regardless of what their prison connection or affiliation may have been, right? Because to me, that stuff means nothing, right? When I was locked up, being a lifer, in order to gain my freedom, we had to go through a lot of channels that other convicts don't have to go through in terms of gain their freedom in California. I know in other states, everybody must see the board in order to gain their parole. But in California, only those who have life must go see the parole board. And the parole board likes us to have these certain classes, right? And I think it may have been in criminal thinking. I ran across something that pretty much basically said that, you know, you don't want to hold on to any parts of a negative ideology or a negative belief system that got you to prison, right? So, you know, I'm not going to come home with 40% of my gang thinking and, you know, use some of it and don't use some of it. You know, I'm going to straddle the fence and be on both sides when it's convenient. I'm not going to do that. Everybody is not perfect. We're human. So at sometimes, you know, you will have people, myself included, who may slip back into something that we've been doing for a long time right now. If you had caught me in a time period where my thinking was more immature, yeah, then a person's gang status active or not would have mattered to me because I was still caught up and living that lifestyle, right? And so things like that at a particular time were important to me. Now, if I had of not came out in good standings, me personally, I would not be on YouTube just because of me and my personal ego and pride. But that's me personally, right? When I got found suitable, when I went to the board and they told me, okay, you know what? We think that you're fit to go home and we're gonna release you. When I went back to the yard, it may have been 2 days later, I took the majority of my transcripts, paperwork, 115s and all that, threw that shit in the trash. Man, I didn't care about that stuff. I can't come out here and try to get no job by impressing no manager of any type of company by telling him how many riots that I was in prison, how many people that I stabbed in prison, how many good yards I walked in prison. So, you know, me, in terms of when I listen to someone on YouTube and I try to decide if what they're saying is valid or not, to me, it has no bearing on where they did their time, how they did their time. Now, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I do find it weird when, and I'm going to just use this because it just popped in mind right now. I seen a show by the name of Renegade Media trying to get on X-Rated for, I guess, being a dropout, non-active, being on yards that wasn't considered good or whatever. Now, to me, I just thought that was crazy, right? You know, let me put it in another, let me give you another analogy that may not be as disrespectful. That's like two people on the basketball court clowning each other because neither one of them can dunk. I'm clowning you because you can't dunk the basketball, but I can't dunk the basketball either. To me, that's crazy, right? That makes no sense, right? So outside of that, people leave stuff sometimes in my comments saying, hey, man, this dude or that dude is this and he's that. And like I said, that really has no bearing because I am not of that life anymore. So, I mean, you know, man, I'm 53 years old, man. I would look like a damn fool still carrying around aspects of that life with me and thinking it's going to help me to achieve any type of goal that I want to achieve, right? Shout out to Nate Dogg 916, man. Shout out to Nate Dogg 916. I seen him say something the other day that was extremely profound in his videos. And he said basically that he went to jail, he went to prison, he was a blood, and he done his time as a blood. Now that he came home, he chose to do his time as a regular citizen and lead a normal life. And, you know, with the blacks, things like that was allowed. You know, we are allowed to come out and do as we please. Now, I'm not saying that other organizations are not. I'm just saying that as far as like he said with the blacks, that's something that we are allowed to do. We are not held to certain standards once we get out of prison and it's expected for us to continue, you know, a certain type of lifestyle. It's all a choice, you know. And so, of course, we're Crips, Bloods, black gangs, at least out here in Southern California, we're gangs. That's pretty much what it is. It's a gang. It's not an organization. It's a gang, right? That's all it is. You know, for dudes like Nate Dogg and other dudes who get out and they realize that being in a gang is not in their best interest, you know, shout out to them dudes, man. I'll tell you this, right? When I encounter dudes who I done time with, dudes who were lifers, a giant portion of those dudes are now into community work. A lot of those dudes are now into giving back. And to me, in my opinion, that's no coincidence. I'm not just talking about, you know, some dudes who I did some time with. I'm talking about lifers, man, who had extremely vicious reputations, you know, as stand-up dudes in the pens and vicious killers from their area, you know. And like I say, once again, I don't believe it's any coincidence that you have a lot of these dudes now working in channels that give back to their neighborhood because they see the destruction that they have caused through a certain type of lifestyle. So they are trying to prevent and help others avoid making the same decisions that they have made, man, because regardless of whatever you represent, whatever type of gang you represent in the state of California, once you get to prison with a life sentence or even a whole lot of time, I don't believe there's one person who at some point in time did not say, man, this stuff was not worth it. Now, you may go to prison and you may do everything that's expected of you to do, and you may parole in good standings or whatever, but you still realize that being involved in that type of lifestyle, for the most part, I believe everybody at some point in time feels that it wasn't worth it. Even those who come out and continue to be involved and engaged in the same type of lifestyle, because the point of the matter is some people just don't know how to get away. They just don't know how to break away. Some people are scared to break away. You got dudes in their 30s, 40s, and 50s scared to break away from that lifestyle. And now when I say scared, I'm not necessarily talking about because it's a physical type of scared. They're scared of being beat up, being shot, being killed. It's not always that. Sometimes people are scared of being ostracized, scared of being made to feel less than. When we joined this gang community and we grew up in this type of gang environment, one thing that is extremely, important to all of us and prevalent in all these gang situations is how we are viewed by other people, especially for those in my generation and before, when, your reputation was all you had, and your reputation, came not on the amount of cars that you had with big rims and candy paint or how many chains on your neck, but what you did in the street. Any real person who was in the street knows that it takes a lifetime to build a reputation. It takes a lifetime to build a reputation, but it only takes one time to mess up that reputation. You could have been a rider from the 80s through the 90s to the 2000s, maybe 2011. You turn down that one fade, or you have that one conversation with a police officer that you shouldn't have done or shouldn't have had. Everything you've done in the past now has been nullified, and it doesn't even count no more. You know what I'm saying? And so the way we are viewed matters a lot to a lot of us, right? And sometimes we put how we feel we will be viewed in front of what's really important, right? And so I'll continue to do my videos on the prison culture, on certain things, and when I reply to certain videos, it still has nothing to do with, let me say this correctly, right? Because I don't want anybody to get this misconstrued. I'm just replying, or I'm doing videos because that's what I do, man. The prison content, for those people who it matters to, it matters to those people. You know what I'm saying? Me, it doesn't matter. Everybody's journey is gonna have a different walk, man. Everybody's gonna have a different journey, and at the end of the day, if a person makes a decision that he feels is best for him to keep it 100, how does that affect me, man? If me and this dude, or we're walking right, and we come to a street that has a fork in the road, and this dude goes left and I go right, and we never see each other again, how does his journey affect me? His journey doesn't affect me, man. I'm continuing on my path. I'm doing what I'm doing. And at this point in time, what's important to me and what I'm doing is things that will help me live a better life than I've lived when I was incarcerated, things that will help me not go back to an incarcerated life, man. So, for those out there, making comments about, what cat is PC and what cat is not PC and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me anymore, because, what's the benefit in me living that lifestyle, even worrying about that? I can't go to where I pay my mortgage at and tell the dude, hey man, this guy right here, man, he's PC. And he tells me, you know what? Okay, chill. Thanks for that information, man. We gonna knock $400 off your mortgage today. Or I can't go and, show a video to a dude in the store and say, hey, man, this dude right here, he didn't finish his time in the right way. And the guy said, okay, you know what, chill? Take them $200 worth of groceries with you for free, man. Good looking out for the information. So just at the end of the day, y'all, I'm on some grown man shit. That stuff doesn't matter to me, man. I will continue to do my videos, but another person standing to me doesn't matter to me, because if I find out this dude or that dude or certain dude is didn't do his time and blah, 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 all that stuff, I'm not going to act on it. If I see him out there, I'm not going to ride. It's not my obligation, to handle anybody else's dealings or whatever. So you guys, let's just watch the content. Let's try to enjoy it or not enjoy it. But that stuff right there, I'm on grown man time, me myself, man. So if anybody doesn't like 16 in life because chill is on grown man time, and you choose to stop watching, unsubscribe, enjoy your life, man, because I'm enjoying mine. Anyway, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 in life. I'm out of here like last year. Resume normal program.